Okay, today is an atypical day. So for the last 2 weeks I've been kind of working out to get to a point where I'm comfortable with the routine. Just setting up the time and doing the work, doing a video every day. And trying to find form and a few other things like that. What I haven't yet done is figured out what I can actually lift when it comes to one particular exercise or any of them. So today's role and today's goal is to go through each exercise and figure out what a 1 rep max is for each of them. And then take that figure and multiply it by 0.75 or 0.8 and then round up or down. And that should give me a general idea of what I should theoretically be able to lift 8 times in a row for 5 sets. 8 to 10, give or take. So what I want to do is I want to do that calibration today. So I'm going to be doing 1 or 2 exercises or one or two reps and calculating what my max is and taking breaks to make sure I don't get exhausted and so on and so forth or hurt myself. And I'm going to do that for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday's workouts. I'm going to log all that, and then I'll have a good idea, a roadmap of what I should be able to lift during my normal weekday workouts. And I think that'll be fun. We'll throw out some cartoons for the kids. Got to make use of that VHS player back there, so we'll throw that on, and whoever wants to watch some heavy metal, you can do that while I'm doing the work. So when we pick back up, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and we'll be doing our benches first, so that'll be fun. And yeah, I might get interrupted. I've got an Amazon delivery coming, but we'll see. Alright, so I'll try and narrate this as I go along, and we will see what we get. So first one we're going to do is our incline bench. And I think I've been doing 20s to 30s on those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do a 50. See if I can maintain my form. And if that's easy, I'm actually going to go up to a 55. Again, recognizing that, for the most part, it's only a one time, and I should be able to do some math and figure it out. Okay. Oh, I hate this a lot. Already. Okay. Okay, so I know I can do at least 2 50s, so I'm assuming you're going to be up at about 55 or 60, which is better than I would have expected, so let's go to 60, let's see if I die. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty close. There, doing it. Actually, let's get that television back in frame. There we go. I've got the sniffles today. I was picking my nose last night, and I think I might have given myself some sort of infection or something. Okay. Nope. Okay. So we were able to do 50 twice. So I don't know, let's see what 55 is. I've just got this automatic calculation. So, sorry, incline 55, so that would give me a 1 RM at 75 of 40 pounds. Now if I change that up to 85, that's 46 pounds. So I think you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this up. I'm going to go to 85%. So the incline is 55, well 50. We're getting 46.75, so we're going to do 45. So that's going to end up being as an adjusted total. Okay. So that should be pretty strenuous, but pretty good. All right, let's see what our flats. Traditionally, I have a weaker on incline inclines than flats, as one might expect. So I am going to try 60 on this one, and we'll see how that goes. I'm kind of curious, actually, to see. It's a pretty good transfer. Pretty sharp on that old TV. Okay. Nope. All right, so apparently I'm. Let's try 55. 5 pounds might make the difference. My brain only weighs 3, so here we are. It's just amazing that 5 pounds can make all the difference in the world. Okay. So I'm able to control it on the way up and way down. So that's going to be, so we're going to have the same total, which is going to be about 45. Yeah, 55 raw, 46.75, so 45. And I think 45 is going to be pretty doable. If I have to bring it down by 5 pounds, I will, but I don't want to. We'll just see where the chips fall, as long as I can control it. The decline, I mean, it's a more natural movement to go down, so maybe I'll be able to do it. But I'm just concerned about hurting myself and not being able to get back up. Heart rate, good. All right. There's a lot more grunting when you're actually working. So there's that. I know someone's going to show up in the comments and be like, "You're only lifting that?" I'd be like, "Yes, I am only lifting that. I don't have a choice. If I could lift more, I would." All right, so I think reasonably speaking, my bench is pretty equivalent. Okay. So again, we're looking at 55, which is a raw, 85% of 46.75, so we're going to do 45 on those. Now we got our dumbbell flies. These ones are kind of goofy because there's no way to really do a 1 rep max because they keep your body so elongated. And I think I was doing 10s or 15s on those. So I mean, I can certainly, well, let's just try 25. And this is one where form is going to be very important because of the stresses involved. Don't open it, buddy. Oh, shit. Poor girl's going to get some trauma. So I'm finding I can't get all the way down. So we're going to go down to 20. So dusty and furry. That's what I get for having cats sleeping on my lap. What I want to do is I want to get all the way down until I feel the stretch and then go back up. And honestly, I think so put 20 into the code, that comes up with 17. So realistically, I'm probably just going to mark that as a 15, go with that, knowing that it's probably going to be kind of not the same. And what I'll do, for the incline and decline bench, it's going to be the same, I'm pretty sure, because I'm using the same set of muscles, the angles aren't that different. So we'll be doing 15s for those guys, and then I don't have to do a bunch of weight changes, I can just stay on target. Oops. All right, 20, 20, 20. And now I've got a dumbbell pullover. Oh, shoulder press. Yeah. Okay. This could be interesting. Okay. So, if memory serves, I was able to do about 30 or 35. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try for 35. This is per side, of course. That fucking green ball, man. It's It's the worst. I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't, but that's heavy metal for you. They put the first set in. It's freaky, just to chase the kids away. 2. Okay, so I can do 35. Can I do 40? I guess the answer is probably yes. I gotta be conscious of our downstairs neighbors when I do this stuff. How long are we going for? About 8 minutes on this one, so not too bad. And I suspect... Where the fuck is my Amazon delivery? 1 stop away. Guy's jerking off in his truck, I'm sure. Okay. Oh yeah, I think 40 is about it for that. So, and that's maintain control. So, 0.85 of 40, what are we looking at here? I'm feeling that. So 35 is roughly what it's calling for. 34 is the raw. So we'll call it 35. We'll see how we do with that. If it turns out that I'm stressing my back out too much trying to hold that up, I will bring it down to 30, but for now, I think we'll just stick with what we've got, and that is 35. And worst case, I could just take everything down to 0.80 or 0.75 and do some rounding, a little bit of magician math, and see. All right. Man, nice dents. All right. Okay, well I can do a repeatable 50. So I think what I'll do is I'll throw 55 in there, kind of like we did for the benches. And that'll leave me with a 45-pound repeatable at 85% 1 RM. So that's good enough. I have a feeling these workouts are going to get a little bit more strenuous. So we've just completed the Monday to Thursday one. I'm going to take a brief pause, and then we're going to start our arms and shoulder ones and see how we do with those. Okay, so we're now going to be doing our curls, hammer, side and front raises, reverse curls, wrist curls, tricep kickbacks, and skull crushers. So let's go ahead and get started with the dumbbell curls. Now what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to start with my weaker side. So that is my left side, and I'm going to calibrate on my left because I think my left probably needs to catch up to my right because I'm dominant right, do a lot of stuff with my right hand. Whereas the left kind of just, it's in the intimacy coordinator chair. So what I have generally been curling with these is 20, so we're going to try 45 and see if that's a little too optimistic. What we're looking for is good form, right? Nope. Okay, so 45 is a bridge too far. So let's go ahead and try 40. See how we do with that. Alright, so again, we're maintaining form. Doing pretty good there, so I think we're going to go ahead and stick with 40. And alright, let's go. So 40 gives us a raw score of 30, and I have no reason to doubt 30. It's a little bit lower than I'd like it to be, but them's the breaks. Alright, hammers have typically been a little bit better than curls, but let's see if we can do 45 on hammers. Somehow doubtful, but you never know. Oh, 1 stop away. All right. Nope. So I think we're doing 40 for hammers too, which actually is okay because I don't really mind not having to switch weights. It keeps the flow going. Okay, so let's try this. Yep. Barely. Okay, so I can do 30s for those, I guess. That's the way that's going to be. Yeah, 30 is the raw score. Okay, side raises might be a bit of trouble. I get the sense, because again, we're doing a very long run. Well, let's see what we can do. So I'm going to try 30 with the understanding that's probably not going to happen. Great tits. All right. Yeah. I'm going to go for the weaker side. So I can kind of do 30, but it's not proper form, so I'm going to have to take the hit on ego and drop down to 25. And that seems much more appropriate for me. So let's find out what 85% of 25 is. Just barely legal, I think. 18, yeah, so barely legal, 18.75. So I don't have 18.75 on the weight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it as a 20. And we'll see how we do with that. Alright, dumbbell front raise. I get the sense I'm probably going to have trouble pushing 30 on that, so I'm going to try 25 and see if we run it the same. Well, actually, no. You know what? I'm going to be ambitious. I'm going to try it with 30. We'll see how we do. Alright. Oh, this could really suck. So 30 is good. 30 is also good, so I got a little bit more left in the tank on that one than I thought. So if I'm giving myself 30 on that, I think that's probably going to drop us into 20 again, isn't it? Yeah, 22.5, so what I'm going to do is going to round that to 20. And that way I've got the same weight for lateral and front, and one of them is going to be less optimized and ideal than the other, but yeah, whatever. Is my camera crooked? It is. Fix that. Very important. There we go. Better. Okay, reverse curls are the ones where we're going like this, and I think I was doing 25s of those. So we're going to try a 30. And I have a feeling I might be under on these. Okay, so remember, we're observing proper form. I got friends who text me a lot. So I've got good form on 30. So for a change, I'm actually underestimating what I can possibly do here. So let's try 35. Or let's go to 40 and see if we can do that. God, bald spot showing. Damn. Alright. But I can still do it. So 40 RSR1RM. Let's put that into the formula and see what we get. Yeah, it looks like it's asking for a straight 30, so I'm just not going to round. I'm just going to do 30, and that'll be that. Wrist curls, you know what? That's the ones where I'm doing this. And I have a feeling like that's just going to cause me damage, so I'm actually going to strike those from the list completely. Okay, so tricep kickbacks are this guy, and typically I've been doing 20. Let's try 30 or 35. Let's see how those do. Okay, good. And I'm starting to feel some stress there. So, I don't think I'm going to be able to do 40, but I'm going to give it a try anyway. The problem with these is they end up stressing other muscles out as well because you got to hold that weight up like this, right? But 40 is apparently doable. So I guess we know what we're going to get. 40. Okay, buddy, I get it. How many are you going to send me, man? All right. Which gives us a 85 percentile of 30, I believe. Is that? Oh, it's 0.75. Sorry, my bad. So actually, we're going to be changing that. So my formula is per tab. Like, I've got different tabs for different days. And what I ended up doing there was I had the formula on the first one set up for 0.85, but I did not have the second tab set up for 0.85. So now I got to go through and recalibrate, but not that much. So funnily enough, the up estimates that I did line up with that 0.85 a lot better. So for the curls, the 1 RM should have been 34. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and set it up for 30. No, actually, you know what, 34? Let's do 35 for those, I guess. Let's just hurt ourselves a little bit here. That's right, that's right. The front raise should be calling for 25. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll with 20. Well, I'll try 25. Fuck it. And then the reverse curls are calling for 34. I've got 30. I'm going to stick to that. Tricep kickback, I'm going to stick to 30 on that as well. And now we've got our skull crushers. These guys are a little bit difficult because of the placement of the formula that goes into them, or the movement. So, sorry, very important. Oh man. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to try 30. Sorry about the break. I just haven't. Everybody's available on Sunday. The group chat is hopping lit. So, again, the object is just get it down right. And then up. Okay, so that's not going to work. Can't do it. Let's try 25. Really be doing the weakest arm too, so all right. Yeah, it's interesting. Heavy metal just has a whole bunch of different art styles that are present. Kind of cool, man. Anyway, 25. Yep, I've got it. All right, so 25. Sufficient for that. Oh, yeah, that was great. Okay. So it's calling for a 20, so I was pretty much on the mark for that for my previous attempts. Okay, so just to recap, we've got curls set up for 35, as well as hammers set up for 35. Side races are going to be 20, front races are going to be 25. Reverse curls are going to be 30. Tricep kickbacks are also going to be 30, and then skull crushers are going to be 20. So I think that's a pretty good run. Now, next we've got to do our, oh God, legs and back. This part I hate, because I've always just done body weight for these. I reserve the right to stick to body weight for squats. Okay, so the lighting has changed a little bit, so it's a few minutes since I had to leave. But I did end up picking that X100 up that I talked about the other day, and I've got some accessories in. So, being the absolutely insane consumer that I am, I have to stop my workout in order to play with new things that I've bought. One thing about the X100 in large hands is the grip really is not sufficient for sort of daily driving for somebody of my size. So I ended up picking up a grip and a couple little other accessories for it. So we're going to install those now. And then we'll get back to heavy metal and me pretending to know what I'm doing when I'm calculating 1 RMs. Come on, open up. Let's go. So first thing we got is a hood. Now, that's pretty exposed. Lens is right up front. Can't really put that in a bag. So what I've done is I've gotten a little hood for it. It also has a UV filter built in to protect the lens. Kind of neat. Pretty straightforward. What I'm going to do, slip that bad boy on, and then I'm going to break somebody's heart by doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to install that like so. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's a nice look. Actually, there's a little O-ring that should be installed too. In fact, I'm going to install that now so that I have more weather sealing. Keep the dust out. So for me, photography is kind of not a paying gig or anything like that. It's just kind of something that I enjoy doing, if I can do it. And sometimes it's nice to have a new tool to do that. The X100 is a very sought after camera. Some people who resent it say people buy them and don't even use them. I tend to disagree with that. If you buy this camera, you're going to end up using it. I think, what's the best way to put it? People tend to assume the worst of other people when it comes to the things they purchase. Status symbols and things like that. I think of it differently. I tend to think, you bought this because you want to use it. And I get it. I understand completely why you want to use it, because it's cool. And it fits your hand, or something's just right about it. There we go. There's you looking at me looking at you. Alright, so the next thing we've got to solve, now that we've got lens protection taken care of, is we've got to deal with the grip situation. So, I've got 2 prongs that are going to take care of that. The first part is actually the thumb up top. Don't like it. I have no place to put my thumb, so pretty much on every camera I buy, I always end up buying a thumb grip, if I can. Now what this does, if you're not familiar, is I broke a nail. Son of a bitch. If you're not familiar, what this does is it slots in. Oh my god, come on. Alright, well, I guess I gotta be a savage, so we'll do that. I'll keep in the boxes anyway. First thing I do with all my cameras is I buy a grip for it, and what that grip does is it slots into the hot shoe and gives you a spot to rest your thumb. It's quite a neat little thing, actually. Take a look at that. I don't know if it's going to focus or not. There. Done. Damn it. So we take out our little hot shoe cover, which is plastic and gnarly. Slip this guy in there firmly. And now the camera is much more stable, such that I might not even need the extra grip, but I'm going to get an extra grip anyway, because I can. Alright, this is the last piece of the puzzle here. This is from Small Rig, and we all know Small Rig. They're pretty good at what they do. If you're in the photography world, they used to be not really well known, but it sort of seems to me they've really kind of become the go-to for this stuff. And what I've got is a wood hand grip, which should look really neat, I think. Look, I get to be autistic a little bit. I'm gonna accept that. Okay. So this is a rather nice wood grip. Oh man, autofocus tracking is insane on these cameras. There we go. Anyway, so this thing doesn't weigh a lot. Slips right in. Makes the camera a little bit taller, a little bit heavier, but not by much. Gives me a much better grip. There we go. Oh, this is dope. I really like this. Okay. So now I've got this really wonderful deep grip. This thing fits perfectly in my hand. It's not that much heavier. I can operate it much more effectively one-handed. This is it. This is perfect. This is my everyday carry for the next year or so, I think. Look at that. God damn, that's beautiful. Focus. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, let's get back to the workout video. All right, well, that long hiatus over, let's go ahead and keep going. All right, chop, chop, chop. Let's go. So we're going to be doing our bottom half now, starting with straight leg deadlifts. And for that, again, I've been kind of going really light. I have a feeling I've got more in the tank. So what we're going to do, let's go up to 60 a side, which will give us 120 pounds total. And see how we do with that. I suspect it will be okay. And cartoons are great. Gotta love them. All right. So I can do 3 at 60, which tells me I can probably do 2 at 70. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in 70 as the likely candidate, which would give us about 52 and a half at 85%, I believe, 75%. So let's go to 85%, which would be about 60. I'm at 60 now and I can do 3, so I think what I'm going to do is, for the time being, just for the first session, is I'm going to use 55, which is a little bit rounded down from 85, but I could tell I was kind of starting to wane a bit at 60, so that's what we're going to do there. Wait, what am I doing? I'm an idiot. Why am I shortcutting this? I got to do 70. I got to try it. I'm an idiot. All right, let's go. Don't do the fucking work unless you're gonna do it right. Okay. I don't remember this part of heavy metal. Huh. Oh wait. Damn right. Yep. Okay, so if I can do one of these at 70, my calculations would be correct. Yep, I think that's about right. I could probably, well, I feel like I could probably do 75, but my lower back has always been a little bit troublesome, so I think, I don't know, man. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it right. I'm going to try 75. I don't think it's going to work. But we'll give it a go. So that would be me deadlifting 150 pounds, which statistically probably isn't a lot. Actually, no, it would be 70, 71, 40, yeah, 150. It would not be a lot to you guys, but to me, that's like 80% of my body weight, I think, if not 70. So, all right, let's try it. Oh, that's definitely the fucking limit. Oh yeah. Okay. All right, 75. So that would give us 63.75 if we're going 0.85. So that's going to give us 60 as our rounded figure for 1 RM. Okay, okay. Dumbbell shrug is going to be next. So that's going to need me to lift the camera a little bit. Sorry if I'm kind of out of it. It's just been a long day. And I got new toys, so that's important too. Okay. So, shoulder shrugs. This is actually probably pretty close to the weight I should be doing. I'm going to try it. So that's 75 per side. I've had lovers that are fucking lighter than that. Yes, they were adults. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So I could do 3 at 75. I bet you I could probably get 80. But well, was I getting a full range of motion on that? Maybe I should try that again just to see. I think my hands might be the deciding factor on this one. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be about right, I think. So we'll call that 75 for those. And so that's going to be the same 63.75, so we're going to give ourselves 60 for our set limit on those, or our set weight. Okay, hip thrusts are 0, so we're not going to worry about that. Calf raises, my favorite. So I'm going to get my dad calves here. Okay. All right, 75, no problem for calves. I'll hold myself up all day, so we're going to try 85 on those, which is just about to take us to the max of what this set can offer. Right. Bro got his fucking prize. Alright. Okay. So at 85 aside, that's 170. And I'm about 185, so I'm pretty much lifting my own weight. Okay. Okay. So I'm in the awkward position where I can probably do all my sets at 85, which means I'm probably carrying like 115 would be a 1 RM for that. So let's see here. Or 110. Or 105. Okay. So working our way backwards through the math, my one rep max should be 105 per side. So that would be 210. But the reality is these things only go to 90. So, and my hand strength is only such that I can actually hold that 85. So that's what I'm going to do. All fun and games. What's next? All right, hip thrusts are going to be 0, 0, 0 is 0. I might end up cutting those those out, to be honest. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to get rid of hip thrusts just because they look so goofy. Alright, bent rows. These ones... no, give me a quick second. I gotta use the washroom. I'll be right back. Okay, so as noted, we've got 2 exercises left to check out, or 3 if we include squats. Bent rows, upright rows, and squats. So, I definitely can't bent row 85 aside, so we're going to take that back down. I think I was doing like 20. So, let's try 45 aside and see how we do with that. Might be okay. I have a feeling my bents are going to be stronger than my uprights. Strictly speaking, because there's a few more muscles in play. It's at 45, right? Yep. Okay. Alright, so let's set you down. So if I'm going to observe proper form, I should have my back straight, legs straight, up we go. Alright, so I could do 45, which means I could probably do 50, which means I could probably do 55. So let's do 55. This is such a time-consuming process. And it's like, you really don't even get the full effect of the workout, but you start getting pumped up no matter what. So it's like this constant gooning of physical output, because my body's ready for a full set. Okay, 55. I think this is probably going to be pretty close to the limit, though I've underestimated myself before. Alright, by feel, I think 55 is probably going to be about where I'm going to be with that. Just from my own knowledge. So, sorry, heavy metal isn't playing anymore. So that gives us 46.75 when we bank that in at 85. So I'm going to go with 45. And then we have our upright rows as well. I don't think I can do 55 on these. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm going to hurt myself if I do. But I'm going to try them anyway. So that's what we're looking for, is this motion, right? And I'm going to guess I'm going to have issues if I do them together. Nope, not going to happen. If I do them separately, I can kind of get them up there, but ultimately discretion is the better part of valor. Live to fight another day, etc., etc. So I'm going to try 45 on those. And I think for squats, at this point, I'm just going to continue with body weight. I know that's a cop-out, but look, I'm doing well with everything else. I got to give myself some sort of vacation. All right. Because I am human, despite what some people tell me. Okay. I just want to get to the top. Yes. Yes. Together. Barely. Okay. So based on that, if I want to go together, I'm probably going to have to try 40. So we'll try that. My neighbors must just love me. Okay, so I can do 40. I think that's about where we're going to be safely at the limit. So that gives us 34 as a raw multiple at 0.85. So we're going to go ahead and round up to 35. And then squats is going to be 0 because I just feel like sticking with that for the time being. All right, so we've gone ahead and done calibrations for each of the days. Tomorrow we're going to be doing chest with the new weights that I've prescribed myself. I don't know how that's going to go. I guess we'll see. My suspicion is I may have to make further modifications as I get through the set, plus I'll have a full work day to kind of work against tomorrow before showing up and doing this. But yeah, thanks for coming along, and thank you for putting up with my camera autism as well. Have a good day.